Hello and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Justice for All. We are continuing with finding out what's happening here. The monkey is called Money. Yes. Well, the rich ape just stole my attorney badge. Mind if I get that back? I'll see what I can do. Even I have money problems. Whenever Money sees something shiny, he takes it back home. Haha, that's pretty funny. Well, I guess I just have to find out where Money disappeared to. I think that's your best bet. You should probably ask Uncle Mo, he might know. You don't know? Well, Money isn't exactly someone I am on friendly terms with. What? He's not really the kind of animal I work with. Even if he doesn't need taming. Oh, I see. Go to Mo. I guess it is time that I will visit that kooky clown. Do you mind telling us a bit about Ben? Ben? You mean the guy that is always hanging around this trailer? What do you mean hanging around? Well, he was there when Trillo told me that he was in love with me. Trillo told you that he was in love with you. Yes, he did. Kinda cute. Don't you think? He's so smart, and he's such a wonderful singer. I love him. But what about Ben? What about Ben? He's got nothing to do with me loving Trillo. Like sand through the hourglass, so are the days of the circus. Regina, you were proposed to, weren't you? Proposed to? Nope, that won't be for a while. Really? That's strange, isn't it, Nick? Yeah, Max and Trillo both said otherwise. They said they asked for her hand in marriage. But Max only talked to the ringmaster about it. I forgot about that. He asked the ringmaster for her hand, not to Regina directly. So I guess Trillo hasn't asked her directly yet. What? He's going to propose to me? I'm so confused. What about you, Maya? What? What do you think I should go for, Max or Trillo? Wait. You do realize that Trillo is a puppet? I don't care that he's a bit stiff. Oh boy. Here. Detective Gumshoe took off already. Yeah, probably because we ditched him earlier. I bet he and the other cops get lonely and head back to the precinct. Oh my, isn't it Mr. Wright all the time? It's alright to be wrong. Every now and again, right? See, Nick? It just took a while for the joke to find its audience. So what can I do for you? Did you remember a good joke you want to tell me? Pull up a chair, or maybe just pull off my finger and let me have it. We're going to get the same sound effect either way, aren't we? How do you know I put a whoopee cushion under the chair? You really know what it takes to be a clown, don't you? So about Regina. Regina is such a pure innocent child. She shuts a cutie too. She was born and raised in the circus, you know? But that means she doesn't really know much about the world outside the big top. Sounds like Pearly. For her, every child's dream of the circus is her everyday reality. She lives in a dream world? gypsies dancing wild animals, men flying in the air, and one very funny clown every day. The funny thing is, that all seems normal to her because it is her everyday life. I guess that explains why she thinks she can marry a ventriloquist puppet. Don't ask me if her reality is a good thing or bad thing though. A clown sees life simply, without complications. Have you ever heard of a monkey named Money? Ah yes, Money. He stole my attorney badge. Well, Money does love shiny objects. It makes sense that he wiped your badge. But under no circumstance can you chase after him. Huh? Why is that? Oh, I know. You don't want to get involved in any monkey business, right? Exactly, bravo, bravo. Enough joking around though. Money isn't considered a member of Regina's family. Then who does he belong to? I'll be happy to take you to where his owner is staying. You mean right now? Of course. Shall we go? Should we go with him now or wait a while? Go with Mo. This is it. What's wrong, Mr. White? I can't breathe. Don't be such a wimp. You only had to climb 2 flights of stairs. Anyway, this is the place. Acro's room. Acro? He's an acrobat. It seems like he's not around today. That's a big pile of junk over in the corner. I don't think it'd be wrong to assume that Phoenix stuff is over there too. Just be careful to make sure you got the right stuff. Thanks, Mo. See you later. A monkey who takes care of Acro. A monkey who takes care of Acro habitually gathers all sorts of shiny objects. Holy cow, there's a fork and a minor mirror, everything is shiny. There's even really cheap looking knockoff wristwatch. Look at this, it's a trophy. And it's really heavy. Nick, I found it. Your badge. It's right here. Thanks, you really saved me. What's the matter? Did you find something? Yeah, check this out. It's a ring. There's something engraved on it. From T to R. Well, I think it's about time we wrap up our investigations. Do you think we'll win in court tomorrow? Who knows? Even I can't imagine what kind of testimony will come out tomorrow. I'm guessing Mo will be the witness in court tomorrow. Mo and maybe the puppet. Don't worry, Nick. No matter what, we still got a magician on our side. That's good, because we might need some magic tomorrow. Oh. Yeah, then we are just gonna continue with the trial. This episode directly. Let's save here. December 29, 9:43 AM, District Court, Defendant's Lobby number 5. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function. The stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick? Max really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties? What? You don't think I should fly, do you? I know, you got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around in the court. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can't see it now. The dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max? Really? No one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. December 29, 10 a.m. This is court number 2. And now the case of now. Wait, what? Your Honor, get on with it. Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Jones. So, well, isn't that defendant also known as Maximilian Galantica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we called the defendant Maximilian Galantica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that is to our advantage. Miss von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'll win this one, Mr. White. Huh? That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. I did not count. It did not count. Do you hear me? You must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of a von Karma to lose anything. I guess being born with the name of von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolute guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What are you talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it bring her dad back. There's opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap this waste of time. Well, you may call your first witness, Miss von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there. So to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your service, sir. All right, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in the front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. I see, he was beaten to death. Here is the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepted into evidence. Time of death, 10:15, cause of... okay. A blunt object, huh? Very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. the night of the camp, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it an extremely cold day. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about an inch and a half was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow. Let me see. There's got to be more to this. What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record. The jump through? What were you? Huh? When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancer and the staff were there. Regina the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant Maximilian Galantica and his victim the ringmaster. Oh, almost forgot, Regent the tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regent, while Mo went back to his room, tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking Regina's hand in marriage. I'd like to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We got a witness that told us. This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gamshu, would you mind telling us how the victim met his hand? A wooden box. That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carried the box. It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? The victim was lodged over this 20 lb box. It boasts a small but strong lock. This may be my only chance. I might question it. You said the box was locked. How exactly was it locked? Well, it had quite a sturdy lock on it. It took quite a bit to open that bad boy up. So when you found the box, it was locked, correct? Yes, it was. Some of the forensic team took it back to precinct to crack it open. I see. Continue, Detective Camper. I will skip through here. I wanna ask about the content of it. I didn't know they opened it already. Do you mind telling us what was inside the box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station to crack it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. What is that, Detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in the big box? There's only one little bottle in that huge box. I wonder if that's some sort of special meaning. Found inside the wood box, the victim was hunched over it. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon yet, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that it's something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. No, I bet he made it disappear with magic. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the events now. I guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that bottle of pepper? Now that we wrapped up the detective, I'd like to call in my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet, obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I don't know, but wrap up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Bandit Ventriloquist. I wonder if Trudy would show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the record. My full name is Ventriloquist. I'm an employee at the employed as an operating tenor. Excuse me? The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, Ventriloquist. That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me, fine. I'll grace you with a song. Me. The world of the law. Exciting and daring. Guilty or innocent. Decided by the judge. Dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? It had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired to, so to speak. Till you know better than to insult a judge. Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you would have... It's so ugly I want to punch you in the face on the top of the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is the reason you never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. What's going on here? Order. I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. Let Thriller handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now, let's hurry up. Let's proceed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene of the crime. Heading towards the scene? You sure of that? Without a doubt, he had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white rose on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing, you said you ditched the clown. That's right, dress boy. Well, since you went with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why's that? Here's absolute proof. A silk hat. this was found at the scene of the crime, it belongs to the defendant. Without a question, he was wearing his signature hat during the practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecution skills are unrivaled. Well done. Thank you for stating the obvious. Thank you for stating the obvious, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. The clown. You're talking about Mo. Of course I'm talking about the old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to kneel over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being first place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him to went back to the entrance. Why the plaza entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awful cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea? Miss Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. But I'm a good funku. At least my teacher always said I was. I'm sure it was really Max Galantica. Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the way out of the ear. Get the wax out of your ears. Lawyers nowadays, you're like talking to a brick wall. Max three-piece getup, geez, could you be any more dense all together now? Silk hat, cloak, white rose. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little more effort into preparing your question. You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right, and that makes him the killer. There was only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense. And makes one suspicious character. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something I missed here? There's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? Where are you going with this, Mr. White? Who else do I suppose the witness could have seen? Here. Don't hold your tongue, Ben. Okay. I think about it some more, Nick. I'm sure you'll come out with something. Thriller wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive in criminal. Which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. I wonder what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose it would have been around, hey, what time was it? I think it was around 10:30 p.m. I think. Practice ended at 10 p.m. So you hung around the lodging house the entire time. I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awful cold? I believe you just stand outside in that weather. Well, the truth is, will you shut up, you big nose dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in the weather? That weather. Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said you were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix, but we can all do without your offhand theories. But this witness is cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something, Mr. Wright. Who do you suppose the witness was waiting for the call that night? Oh, who? Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person, and one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer Regina. You were waiting outside for Regina to come back to the launching house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw, don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt the witness testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with the testimony. Thriller wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive. Wait, no. There's more to the story to meet the eye. It's a bit strange, don't you think? Was strange that the Mr. Max. Who else? That's the victim. That's correct. If Thriller was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the wingmaster as well. Obviously, the wingmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The wingmaster and Max went together to the wingmaster's room. Is that according to the defendant? A likely story. If Maximilian Galantica was supposed to be in the wingmaster's room, why was he just the witness stated to the scene of the crime? I see. Alright. There's obviously a reason why the witness was there that night. He spent all the time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would pay them a second of thought. That makes perfect sense. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max. There is obviously no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. Alright. I spilled the beans for real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina. Pain. Don't volunteer things. Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage? That the matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. Your judge, to look at your horrible outfit. More pain. Thanks to your bubbling, my perfect plan is not perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Don't be surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. You were going to propose. You were a puppet? Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Exactly. His honor is looking a little less honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination. What's with that sigh at the end? Don't be surprised that I was going to propose. By propose, you mean proposing marriage, correct, Regina? Of course, that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it. That's the truth. I even had something to give to her. What was that exact that you planned to give her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answered his question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright, joke has gone. Time for this one. Francis and Whip looks like it about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing would probably shut someone up for a long time. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The time... I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revisit this, especially about the engagement ring? I like to stick to the facts, not so. Okay. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. I plan to give engagement to Regina. Okay. Yeah, I understand what I did wrong. I plan to give I kept it in my pocket waiting for Okay, here I need to propose the ring. Trilu, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? That's mine. Give it back. Thief. Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right in here? What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something. I don't put me on the spot like that, Twillo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean room they put money? Like a bank vault? Huh, that filthy monkey is going to get what's coming to him. Mr. Chris, I would prefer if you avoid slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word. Oh, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things. Trillo, when was the ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was the time, that night. The night of the crime. What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, it could have been taken around that time. Yeah. Oh. Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. It's nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you who decide what has to do with that. What? Now to look back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted to a thing, not I, Mr. Ventriloquist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Twillo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after the ring, snatching monkey. But you weren't able to catch him, weren't you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that the monkey was able to get away. That's indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What could that possibly be proven? There's a huge contradiction in this witness testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money, the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past the vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see a victim, the ringmaster arriving on scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He's blind by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defendant's argument does hold water. The witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get the dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw the worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha, I told you so many times, you think you know my story? You know my story is not changing. You already changed your story, sick boy, and I'm sure it will change someday. Where there is one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. I give you that I was waiting for Rina that night. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting here for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galantica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max. That's right. Money ran up less than 3 minutes after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived at the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. White, please proceed with your cross-examination. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, you know, 4, F-O-U-R, counting Bannon, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous in our case than Thriller. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course, that's where I was. That's where I saw him coming up from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. About what time would you say the event took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. I already told you 10 p.m. Finish promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time I was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, that time was it. Indeed. What time was it? Let me... No. It was 10 p.m. Oh yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time that I saw Max on the scene. That's a good evening to him. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night, right? You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I say good night to someone at night. But Ben, you got something to add? Let me guess, that's not it, Thriller. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Thriller. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the court. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performance. You should know that better. There's got to be something wrong with it, a bit of his testimony. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would I strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. That hurt. Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot. Okay, let's... Hello, it's not true that you had a fight. Is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end up with someone getting clunked over the head. That morning, Ben got clubbed over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch. Before we handle that, we should wrap to the defendant murder charges first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and the witness had a huge fight. There is absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just considering the personality of the witness on stand, there's no way a puppet this lewd would just go up and say good evening to his rival. Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie, honestly. That's enough for you, Mr. Chris, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? It's my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was someone else who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the one the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greetings at all. Which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw the evening was not Maximilian Galantica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world would you defend? Kindly explain who Trillo saw that evening. It's not her. Not here. Gottleberry. Consider the temper of the witness, there is only one person who would greet. It must be Regina, right? No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. Was Regina's Trillo would have given her an engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, that... Was it not? You are correct, it was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo, isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Chris. Order, how do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was always Maximilian Galantica. I think it's high time that we clear all the air about this question. Mr. Chris obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identified who exactly the person was. Was Maximilian Galantica or was the ringmaster, Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was dependent at the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant three symbols. Alright, it's getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember the banana. Here we go again, all together now. Now. Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat, a cloak, anyone could wear them. They even look good on them. What's that? Well, the witness has endless repeated that he saw Mac's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galantica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possible, even Raspberry. What? Miss von Karma? Do you have a clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, if that's the case, then it's impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes. I think we finally got the point. That's very unfortunate. You're just a little too excited for your own good, Miss Phoenix, right? What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from the witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your efforts, but who was that person? What can only be answered by the next witness. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly established one thing, that there is no one other than Maximilian Galantica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution to prepare the next witness. Court is now in recess. Subscribe if you haven't. We are continuing with the next witness next episode. Thanks for watching and adios.